Days before Maharashtra votes, the India Today investigation team has unmasked a plot to try and subvert the democratic process. A self-proclaimed EVM whistleblower is now calling top leaders in Maharashtra, offering to manipulate electronic voting machines in their favor. One such neta got in touch with us and told us the call that he had received. India Today started digging into this to discover that this is the same person who at one point in time was claiming that he had evidence that the government was manipulating EVMs, and now he's claiming to do the same. India Today's Divyesh Singh and Dipesh Tripathi with our lead story tonight.
Election Commission of India.
Syed Shuja, a self-proclaimed EVM whistleblower, holds a hackathon in London, where he claims that voting machines being used in India can be tampered with. Shuja said he worked with the Electronic Corporation of India Limited in 2013 and had developed the hacks for EVM machines then.
I can tell you what is going to happen after this press conference. First thing, Election Commission of India will deny the possibility of EVM hacking. Second, the ruling party will deny their involvement in what happened since 2013 and today. Third, the Electronic Corporation of India will deny my existence as an employee of ECI.
Syed Shuja's claims were used by lawyer and former Congress leader Kapil Sibal to allege EVM manipulation by the BJP and demand a Supreme Court monitored probe.
आपको मालूम है कि 5 बजे तक वोटिंग खत्म होनी चाहिए और अगर 4 बजे तक 12 बजे तक 11 बजे तक वोट करते हैं तो इसका निश्चित रूप से मशीन काम नहीं कर रही। बटन एक जगह दबाओ तो वोट कहीं और जाता है। बिजनौर में हुआ। तो अगर इलेक्शन कमीशन चुनाव आयोग इसको नजरअंदाज करेगा तो फिर हमें कुछ और रास्ते अपनाने पड़ेंगे। हम चुप नहीं बैठेंगे क्योंकि यह आवाज मतदाता की आवाज है।
Shuja's claims then were fact-checked by India Today and could not be authenticated. This was in 2019.
5 years later, weeks before the Maharashtra elections, the EVM whistleblower Syed Shuja started calling and texting a senior political leader and MP from a political party that is part of the Maha Vikas Aghadi alliance. Shuja claimed to help the party win the Maharashtra Assembly elections by hacking EVM.
Syed Shuja claimed that he could tamper with and influence EVMs using technology from the US Department of Defense, where he currently worked as a contractor. The outrageous claim sent alarm bells ringing, and the senior Aghadi leader approached India Today's special investigation team to probe Shuja. India Today's Divyesh Singh posed as the Neta's personal assistant and got in touch with Syed Shuja.
सैयद साहब, आपको मैंने जैसे बताया था मैसेज पे, हमारे एक एलआई, इम्पोर्टेंट एलआई, वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट, वो उनका जो काम देख रहे हैं वो मेरे साथ में है। वो मगर आपसे बात करना चाहते हैं फेस टू फेस। उनको काम देना है, वो कन्विंस है। मैं आपको वीडियो कॉल कनेक्ट करूं अभी?
1 मिनट दीजिए।
आपको इंट्रोड्यूस करवा देता हूं। ये है अल्पेश जी।
नमस्कार।
अल्पेश जी हैं ये हमारे। इनका आपको पता होगा, इनके पास 102 सीट्स इनको दी गई है। 75 इनको करवाना है।
The number is between 60 to 75. We'll give you definite digit once we finalize this.
63 होंगे आपके यहाँ।
63
63?
63 आप बोल रहे हो कि कंफर्म हो जाएगा?
63 कंफर्म होगा।
बट 63 जो हम नाम देंगे वही ना?
आप दे दो नाम। 105 में से मेरे पास 63 स्ट्रेट आउट एक्सेस है, लेकिन मेरे को वीवीपैट की मशीन की डिटेल्स चाहिए।
तो आप 63 कौन से वो बता सकते हैं, ताकि हम उसमें से फिर अपना जो होगा वो निकाल के आपको ये कर देंगे।
63 मेरे पास एक्सेस तो पूरे 281 का है। आउट ऑफ 288 281 का पूरों का एक्सेस है, लेकिन कुछ एरिया ऐसा है जहाँ पे फ्रीक्वेंसी आइसोलेशन इम्पॉसिबल है। आपके 104 में से
Not only did Shuja offer to manipulate votes in favor of a party, he demanded $6 million for doing the job.
तो इसका अगर 63 करते हैं तो 63 का क्या हमको ये बैठ जाएगा खर्चा?
एस्टिमेटेड कॉस्ट क्या होगा?
देखिए, फिलहाल SS7 का टर्मिनल एक्सेस जो अभी राइट नाउ का आज के यानी 15 तक का लॉक इन है, वो पड़ रहा है करीब 6,72,000 चेंज में पड़ रहा है।
6,72,000
US डॉलर।
6,72,000।
ओके, दिस इज इन रुपी और डॉलर? दिस इज इन रुपीज?
नहीं, ये US डॉलर में पड़ रहा है।
ओके,
अब इंडियन रुपी में कराओ तो 52 CR 53 CR के आसपास पड़ रहा है।
जी जी। ये कितने सीट्स का था?
टोटल एक्सेस है इसका, फेंस अगर करके देखो तो टोटल एक्सेस हो रहा है 181 सीट पे। अब इंडिया में 2G नेटवर्क।
Shuja then explained how he would tamper with EVM frequencies, a completely false claim.
हाउ मेनी पीपल? आपने हमसे 20 लोग मांगे थे।
60 to 64 लोग चाहिए होंगे मेरे।
60 to 64 मतलब इनका क्या रोल होगा, या ये किस लिए, आप कैसे आपको हेल्प कर सकेंगे?
आइसोलेट द सिग्नल।
ओके।
तो अब इंडिया में 2G नेटवर्क नहीं रहा, सारे 4G 5G पे है। तो 2G नेटवर्क को आइसोलेट करने के लिए आई नीड फ्रीक्वेंसी बिटवीन 102 एंड 150।
तो ये लोग हम आपको देंगे या आपके रहेंगे?
हाँ,
ये 60 to 64 पीपल आप लेंगे, चूज करेंगे, आपके रहेंगे या हम आपको प्रोवाइड करें?
उसमें कुछ नहीं है। आई नीड समवन टू कैरी अ फोन and access the application, a particular application which will scan the area and come up with that, okay, which frequency which we can isolate. एक frequency पुलिस का रेडियो यूज करता है, वॉकी टॉकी का जो नेटवर्क है, और उसी के लगभग वही शॉर्टवेव के ड्यूरेशन में EVM की फ्रीक्वेंसी मैच होती है। So I need to isolate that के ओके किसी के साथ इंटरसेप्ट ना हो जाए। EVM सबसे बड़ा जो चैलेंज।
Our investigation team probed Shuja more about his EVM claims.
EVM की एग्जैक्टली क्या डिटेल्स चाहिए आपको? मैं तो प्रोवाइड करवाता हूँ।
रैंडमाइजेशन के बाद कंट्रोल यूनिट, बैलेट यूनिट और वीवीपैट कौन से पोलिंग स्टेशन पे जाएगा,
ओके,
वो एक PDF में आता है।
ओके।
और उसके सीक्वेंस भी होता है। देखिए, EVM सबसे बड़ा जो चैलेंज है कैंडिडेट सीक्वेंस आइडेंटिफिकेशन नंबर। हर पार्टी का एक यानी नेशनल पार्टी है, जैसे कांग्रेस है तो कांग्रेस का सीक्वेंस शुरू होता है INNP से शुरू होता है। बीजेपी का INBP से शुरू होता है। रीजनल पार्टी है तो रीजनल पार्टी का अलग शुरू होता है। तो हर कैंडिडेट का उसके साथ सीक्वेंस जुड़ता है। कोई पोलिंग बूथ पे, यानी मान लीजिए 300 पोलिंग बूथ है, 300 पोलिंग बूथ में 50 पोलिंग बूथ पे वो कैंडिडेट 1 पे कांग्रेस रहेगा, 50 पोलिंग बूथ पे कैंडिडेट 2 कांग्रेस पे रहेगा। तो ये सीक्वेंस जो अलग हो रहा है, उससे दिक्कत ये आती है कि अगर मैं कैंडिडेट एक के ऊपर ही पूरा मारूं, और अगर एक कैंडिडेट के ऊपर अगर कांग्रेस 50 जगह है, 100 जगह नहीं है,
समझ गया,
तो मेरे हाथ से जो है बीजेपी जीत जाएगी।
समझ गया।
तो ये चाहता मैं, अगर मेरे पास वीवीपैट की डिटेल्स है तो ओके, आई नो कि भाई ये वीवीपैट के अंदर बिट सीक्वेंस कौन सा है, कौन से बटन के ऊपर कौन से कैंडिडेट का सिंबल लगा हुआ है, मुझे ये पता चल जाता है। एटलीस्ट आई कैन रीड दैट। सो मेरे को एग्जैक्टली वो फाइल रैंडमाइजेशन के बाद जो रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर से आप पूछो, रिटर्निंग ऑफिसर दे देता है।
डिटेल्स मिलने के बाद फिर आप किस तरह से करेंगे? इलेक्शन वोटिंग के दिन ही होगा या कैसे होगा और किस तरीके से होगा?
मैं तो पहले ही प्री प्रोग्राम जितने हैं उसको फ्लिप कर देता हूँ। यहाँ पे प्री प्रोग्राम्ड है बीजेपी के फेवर में, मैं उसको ऑलरेडी फ्लिप करके रखता हूँ। लेकिन ऑन द डे ऑफ इलेक्शन वो जो ट्रांसमिशन शुरू करते हैं मैं इसको इंटरसेप्ट कर लेता हूँ। तो जब वो फाइल सेंड करते हैं तो उनको रिटर्न में एक फाइल आती है, ईवीएम से रिटर्न में ट्रांसमिशन होता है, वो फाइल उनके पास आती है। तो ओके, दे हैव कंफर्मेशन के भाई हाँ हमारी फाइल चली गई है। तो मैं उसको बीच में इंटरसेप्ट करता हूँ और मैं अपने मेरे पास से जो फाइल जा रही है मैं वो भेज देता हूँ। उनके पास कंफर्मेशन चला गया कि फाइल ट्रांसफर हो गई, लेकिन फाइल मैं अपनी ट्रांसफर करता हूँ और उनकी फाइल ट्रांसफर नहीं होने देता। तो जब वो फाइल
Ironically, the man who staged a hackathon to raise concerns about Indian EVMs was now promising to tamper machines for the opposition.
और ये सिर्फ वोटिंग के दिन हो सकता है या जो बीच के 2 दिन है, जैसे 23 को काउंटिंग है तो 21-22 को पॉसिबल है कुछ?
बहुत ज्यादा क्रूशियल होते हैं क्योंकि बीच के 2 दिन में जहां पे इनका ट्रांसमिशन नहीं हुआ। कमाल की बात यह है कि ईवीएम मशीन बंद होने पे भी, खासतौर पे ECIL की जो मशीनें हैं, बंद होने पे भी उस पर ट्रांसमिशन होता है, नो मैटर व्हाट। आप जैसे ही मशीन खुलेगी, नया अगर फाइल आ गई तो वो ट्रांसमिशन के अंदर गिनी जाती है। तो वो आसान है उनके लिए। एंड आई हैव टू बी कॉशियस फॉर द नेक्स्ट 3 days। every single minute of the hour I have to constantly scan कि भाई होगा कोई ट्रांसमिशन हो रहा है क्या।
False claims, fake promises, a dangerous plot to destabilize India's democracy. Remember, the Election Commission of India has assured that EVMs are tamper-proof.
सवाल का जवाब पब्लिक देती है जी सर। वोटिंग में परसेंटेज और वोटिंग में पार्टिसिपेट करके पब्लिक जवाब देती है सवाल का। जहां तक ईवीएम्स और इन सब का प्रश्न है वो 100% फुल प्रूफ है, मैं कई बार बता चुका हूं।
From a self-proclaimed EVM whistleblower to a fraud claiming to fix elections, Syed Shuja's scam has been unmasked. Misinformation and outrageous claims gather steam during election season. Both politicians and voters need to beware. With Divyesh Singh and Dipesh Tripathi in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
You just heard this self-proclaimed whistleblower, Syed Shuja, claim that EVMs can be manipulated by him. The Election Commission of India has maintained that voting machines are tamper-proof. The Election Commission even called hackers, challenging them to expose vulnerability in their machines. So far, not one hacker could establish any evidence to suggest that EVMs can actually be manipulated.
The Election Commission has maintained that EVMs can neither be hacked nor tampered with. The M3 model that is currently in use is designed to be tamper-proof and operates as a standalone one-time programmable device similar to a simple calculator. M3 machines have no internet or Bluetooth connectivity and do not connect to any power source. They have built-in self-check mechanisms and can reset to factory settings if tampered with.
Election Commission launched EVM challenge in June 2017 that please come with our security forces, go to any strong room, select any EVM where you have any doubt and bring them to Election Commission and bring your best hackers and engineers and try and hack it. And if you succeed, Election Commission will do away with the EVM. But no party came then to meet the challenge.
That is not all. EVM results are also validated with VVPATs. A simple tallying of over 20,000 VVPATs is mandated by the Supreme Court. In the VVPAT counts so far, all have been checked without a single case of vote transfer error. Discrepancies when found were due to human errors such as not clearing mock poll data.
That even the microcontrollers of EVM and the symbol loading machines for VVPAT these will be kept safe. I don't think there is any sort of substance in any of these claims. And only thing is that these keeps coming on because nobody tries to read the EVM status paper.
EVMs undergo rigorous third-party reviews, mock polling with candidates and representatives, and are seated with specialized security paper from the Nashik press. Storage protocols require specific criteria for security, such as single-door access, and candidates can monitor the storage room 24/7. Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to go across to S.Y. Qureshi, former Chief Election Commissioner of India, and after that our correspondents who worked on the story will be joining us as well. But Mr. Qureshi, first, you know, this person was part of a very high-profile press conference by the opposition where they were claiming that he had evidence about how EVMs can be manipulated. Now he's calling up leaders in Maharashtra and probably elsewhere, but we found out from a senior MVA MP from Maharashtra who told us that this kind of a call had been made. Now you've heard what he's claiming. Can you explain from your experience, Mr. Qureshi, why you think that these claims are completely absurd, and what do you make of the fact that he's saying if you pay him a huge amount of money, he can actually somehow jam the frequencies, enter them, intercept them, and tweak the codes in which the EVMs are functioning?
Rahul, first of all, let me remind you that the press conference which you showed in the beginning never happened. This was organized by Mr. Ashish Ray, who was on the camera. You could see him. He was the president of Indian Journalists Association of Europe. He had organized this press conference, and this guy was supposed to come from USA, and he never showed up. And his excuse was that he was beaten up a couple of days earlier by some interested people, and it was dangerous for him, and he was not fit to travel. So much about the press conference, which never happened. And secondly, the kind of thing which he was mentioning, that the signal can be read from here, there. This machine does not emit any signals. And I don't know what he's talking about. And since the incident he referred to was of 2019, in between there have been so many elections, not only in India but internationally. He could have become a millionaire, billionaire if he was able to manipulate these results. I think, as your team rightly exposed, he was talking through his hat. Absolute nonsense. There is no question of EVM getting hacked. There may be other administrative lapses on the part of the administration and election commission, but this one is not. Now, let me also tell you that these machines, they were produced at different points in time. The last batch was produced in 2013. It was a UPA regime. And secondly, one most absurd thing which you were talking about, how the buttons are assigned to a party. He's talking through his hat. Buttons are assigned to the name of the first name of the candidate. If you're Ajay Kumar of any party, your button is number 1. If you are the Satish Kumar of any party, you are the number 6 or 7. What is he talking about? Then there are 3 mock polls, 3 different occasions, and where political parties are present and they certify that the mock poll, including on the day of the poll, function fine. The machines work fine. So I really don't know how. And suddenly he approaches some party offering. In fact, these kind of fraud we have come across even earlier. Every second or third year we come across.
No, but the thing is that when results don't go as per plan, and you know, in case viewers are wondering why are we showing this, because somebody can say, oh, hame phone aaya tha, wo aise claim kar rahe the ki manipulate kar denge. But the fact is, as Mr. Qureshi is pointing out, that most of these claims are completely bogus. By now, most of us who are watching India Today at this time would know for a fact that EVMs are dumb machines. They're isolated units. They're not connected to any form of network, and therefore there is no question of there being some signal you can jam or intercept and therefore tweak. And as Mr. Qureshi points out, you know, he's making it seem as if a particular serial number is assigned to a party across all seats. That's not the case. It goes as per alphabetical order, and therefore the same party could have a different number in different seats. So those are some very basic realities, but the problem is that it's like one mistruth feeding another, leading to an entire disinformation campaign, questioning the sanctity and the validity of the electoral process, Mr. Qureshi.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, let me also mention that he is from Andhra Pradesh and ECIL is in Hyderabad. When the anti-EVM controversy was at its peak ever, it was in 2009, and it was being led by the BJP. So that is the time when I took over in 2010, I immediately called an all-party meeting. The delegation of all parties was led by no other than Chandrababu Naidu, who was a technology icon. And he categorically said that we are not saying that the machines have manipulated the results in the past, or they can do it in the future. All we are saying that they lack transparency. He said, okay, tell us the solution. He said, introduce VVPAT. Rahul, believe me, we decided in the same meeting that we will introduce VVPAT for transparency. And as was pointed out in your program itself, that lakhs and lakhs of VVPAT slips have been compared with the machines. Not once have they mismatched. A few mismatches were only because if the mock poll of 50 was not erased, obviously it will show in the results. So except for those human errors, very few, very few, all lakhs and lakhs of them have always matched. So VVPAT is functioning fine. I think we should not. In fact, I hope this investigation is taken to its logical.
What is the logical conclusion? What do you think should happen on the back of this investigation? If Rajiv Kumar is watching at this time, the current Chief Election Commissioner, as former Chief Election Commissioner, what would you recommend to him?
No, I think there should be the investigation of this guy. But since he's in America, I'm sure some kind of a criminal case. Criminal investigation can also be done, that if he is able to manipulate, it is a criminal activity and it needs to be investigated.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Qureshi, for joining us with your thoughts. I want to go across to Sahil Joshi. I've got Ankit Kumar, who heads our open source investigation team, and we've got Divesh Singh, who's the correspondent who worked on it. Sahil led this coverage. Sahil, you know, the leader who received this call reached out to you. Describe whether it's a one-off, are more people getting this call, what was the conversation like, and how this gentleman is trying to cast doubts about how India's electoral process is actually executed.
Well, it is very interesting to see that how this gentleman got the number of that leader, and he started harassing the leader by sending constant messages and constant calls. The leader did understand that why the messages are being sent, and then he also sent certain clips that he's talking to some big leaders in India, and they are accepting that there is a problem with the EVM. They have fixed the EVMs to make that leader believe that this is actually happening, and it did stop at that. I was listening to Mr. Qureshi, and he said that there should be a proper investigation. Now, what he has started, the person has started, is to demand money to fix the EVM. So he's also duping the leaders, and the leader was clearly sure that he's been talking to various other leaders as well, and that's why there needs to be a stricter action against the person. And the leader is of course going to approach the Election Commission as well to register a formal complaint about the person who had approached the leader at that particular time. But interestingly, the guy immediately responded, and he was asking for more than 70 crore rupees to fix certain EVMs to match the symbol of that leader's party with a particular EVM. He told the leader that the ruling party has already fixed it. Only 29 constituencies are left for the fair fight. Let's do it quickly. The time is running out. He asked for a wired transfer, which was not accepted. Then he said, okay, he's going to send some people, and he sent 3 people to meet Divesh, and then the rest of the things happened. So this has been happening since last 7-8 days, and finally the leader approached me, and then we decided that let's go ahead with that, and that's how we have caught this. It's absolutely extremely serious thing what has happened during the election campaign, and I'm sure that the person must have approached other people also during the Haryana or Jammu and Kashmir and other polls as well, because this is being a poll season throughout since last 6 months, and that's what the leader was worried about. and that's why we came into the picture. So it is extremely serious kind of a story what we are presenting at this point of time.
Ankit, you're the one who pieced together. I don't think the leader who received this call specifically knew that this was a whistleblower from the past. You're the one who put those details together. Explain to our viewers what really happened during that big whistleblowing press conference, because this man is not an unknown commodity. If somebody is just like reasonably smart, they can quickly get to the bottom of who he actually is and his checkered track record.
This is a classic case of two sides of one EVM hawk story. For first 4-5 years, he was an EVM whistleblower, right? And this also shows the kind of political maturity on part of the opposition parties who have received this call, because nobody so far has bought his, we have not seen any press conferences unlike 2019. In 2019, everybody bought his theories. He wrote some PDF papers, he circulated on WhatsApp groups, he sent some emails, and everybody, every journalist from London to India bought his theory, newspaper articles were published. We sent our reporters to check his basic claims back in 2019. The engineering college where he said he did his engineering from, the principal said this student is not from our college. The guest house that was supposed to exist, that did not exist. The encounter in which more than 10 of his colleagues were killed, that never happened. And remember, that was not a BJP ruled state, right? So all these things we had verified in 2019. Now, because that theory has been rejected, there are no buyers, it seems as if he comes across as a very sharp person. He throws technical jargons, although they are not very correct technically, because he's selling this RF signal theory for past 5 years, right? Now, if I say I can use radio frequency theories to turn this bottle into gold, only if you give me 50 crore rupees, right? That is not possible. That is what he is selling.
No, but the important thing for everyone watching to remember is that EVMs don't emit radio signals. I mean, that's the basic fact. So everything else is just hocus pocus.
Absolutely. And they can also not receive any signals. They are standalone devices. They cannot be reprogrammed. So all these theories, what he does to compensate for everything, he will come up with different, more technical jargons. He will not say radio frequency. He will say, I need 130 to 150 frequency, right? Now somebody will say, oh, that means something else, right? But the fact of the matter is that you cannot interfere with using RF frequency with a device that is not capable of receiving the signal.
There's no network. It's not plugged into any network.
There is one more big loophole. He says he has technology from Lockheed Martin because he's a contractor with Department of Defense. Now, Lockheed Martin is a big supplier of Indian government. If Lockheed Martin has this magic technology that can reprogram every electronic device, the United States will have control of all the Russian missiles, of the Chinese missiles, all the Iranian missiles.
Sure. Now, Divesh, there are two important points that Ankit and Sahil make. One, that he's got these clips where he is supposed to be speaking to the who's who of Indian politics, and where they're accepting that EVMs can be fixed. And when we heard some of those clips, it became quite apparent that some of these were actually artificially generated through AI. And the problem is now AI is getting so good, so when you're listening to this clip, if you aren't an informed citizen or neta, you can say, हाँ, maybe उसने minister ने नेता ने ऐसा बोला. Divesh?
Well, Rahul, yes, he did share a lot of clips with us as well. I was posing as PA to the said politician, to the said MP who had contacted Sahil and informed about this person. After which we started this investigation. We contacted this person. As Ankit pointed out, he had made claims that team members, his 13 team members were assassinated. He had programmed the EVMs while working as technical director of ECIL, and that is the same technology till date being used by Indian government. He also made claims that he was in touch with several other top politicians of the country. He mentioned about few states where the opposition parties are in power or they made government, that he was the one who helped them form government over there. He rigged the EVMs, he programmed the EVMs through the RF signal technology that he's got from the Department of Defense, USA, and for that he needs to pay a certain amount of money. It is like a rent. He went on to say like it is like a rent that he has to pay to the Department of Defense. So that again is a very funny thing that he said that he has to pay rent to the Department of Defense, United States of America, to rig EVMs in India. And for that he was demanding 50 to 60 crore rupees.
Okay.
He said that there were envelopes used in VVPAT. One can carry it in their pockets and go and just change it while the EVMs are kept in the strong room. So he made a lot of statements, but none of them found any truth. There were no facts. He was using technical jargons just to influence people.
That's
he was
the point.
sharing clips, he was sharing voice notes, he was sharing call notes, and that was all to make money. He's a scammer. He posed as whistleblower. Now he's turned into a scammer who's trying to scam politicians in India.
Okay, so how this purported whistleblower then turns into an EVM scammer, we've exposed that story. I'll wait to see how Mr. Rajiv Kumar and the current election commission responds and reacts to this India Today expose. Sahil for leading that coverage, Devesh for putting it together, and Ankit for your insights. Thank you. We'll keep tracking what happens next.